Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to share my top tips for navigating the Chanel sale. If I look very familiar, it's because I filmed a part 1, which actually shared the pieces that I picked up from the latest Chanel sale, the current Chanel sale. And so if you haven't watched that video, I will link it up above so you can see the kinds of pieces that I picked up from the sale itself. But this video is actually going to focus on my top tips for making sure you're aware of the sale, you know what's available, and you know how to be able to score some of the pieces that you're looking for. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to make these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so that we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your favorite part, because all your support really means a lot to me. I just realized I'm not wearing any of my rings, and so my hands feel really naked, but we already got this far, so I'm just going to continue without my rings on. I've got my trusty notebook here with the points that I wanted to share. I wanted to share a set of facts to help level set any expectations around what the Chanel sale is going to be like and what kinds of products would be included in them. So typically the Chanel sale runs about twice a year. There's one in around May and there's one that happens around December. This year, the one in May started towards the end of May. I believe it started around like the 20th to 25th is when I started really seeing Chanel sale related posts from like resellers, and I also heard from my essay about the availability of some pieces in the Chanel sale. And then there's usually one that happens in and around December. Maybe sometimes it spills into January, but I usually think it's before the new year. They're trying to clear out inventory. So those are the 2 times a year it happens. I am signed up for Chanel emails, and there was a time where I actually got an email from Chanel, like official, letting me know that the sale is upcoming. So I recommend you sign up to the Chanel emails because they might also run communications for some of their upcoming sales. To my knowledge, they didn't do that for this current sale that started in May, but doesn't mean they won't do it for the future, because I've seen that happen in the past. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for when they send it out and when they don't, but it's not a bad thing to be signed up for because you'll get notified when it does happen. The pieces that are available are usually ready to wear, costume jewelry, and shoes. To my knowledge, there's usually no handbags or SLGs or leather goods that are made available through the sale. This year I did see a reseller post something about like showing the Chanel closet and wrote sale on it, so implying that the bags that were in that closet were on sale. So there might be very select seasonal styles that if they have maybe those are part of the Chanel sale, but any of the classic styles that you're thinking of are definitely not included in the sale. And to my knowledge, SLGs are also not included in the sale. Usually the pieces on sale, the most recent item that's included in the sale will be from a year prior. So the May sale will usually have the previous year's spring summer collection, like that's the most recent collection that would be included in that sale. And then the December sale will include the previous year fall winter, if that makes sense. But I have seen collections, I have seen pieces included from previous collections. Like I was even shown something from 18P, which means that's like what, 2018 spring summer? Like, yeah, I think P is the first, like Act 1, and then S is Act 2 or something like that. So and that was like this May. I was shown something that was from 2018. So there can be older pieces as well, but the most recent one will definitely be at least a year prior, like the 1 year old collection. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I went around it a really complicated way, but to my knowledge, the ready-to-wear pieces at the end of a season to make space for the new ready-to-wear collection, each boutique will actually kind of send their inventory back to, I don't know if it's headquarters, but they send them back basically. And for the sale, the headquarters will actually redistribute ready-to-wear across the different boutiques. Contrary to that, the accessories are actually whatever accessories are left from each boutique trying to sell them during current season. So I feel like that means I feel like that bodes well for ready-to-wear in particular, because you might be able to see styles that weren't particularly in your boutique the first time the collection launched, or you might be able to access a wider range of you might be able to access a wider range of sizes for ready-to-wear. Not that the stores won't order and ship them to you, so that always, if you're looking for a specific size, that happens as well, but it's always easier to work with inventory that's allocated to the boutique your SA is associated with, because that's where your SA has like more pull to be able to hold something for you. But again, contrary to that, the accessory pieces, the costume jewelry pieces are all the pieces that are actually left over from when they were actually selling the collections on the floor. So in my experience, that usually means the costume jewelry, like there are very, very few pieces left. And sometimes the ones that are left, you're sort of like, yeah, I can see why they were left over. And so usually, in my experience, the costume jewelry, there's not a lot to really pick from. So that's just something to keep in mind. My understanding is the shoes is the same. My main boutique is one that's inside of Neiman Marcus. So the boutique doesn't actually have shoes within the boutique itself, and the shoes are actually part of the Neiman Marcus shoe boutique. So I'm not as familiar, but I'm pretty sure the shoes run in a similar fashion to costume jewelry, where it's the inventory that's remaining from the times that they were actually selling the collection through the boutique. It's just the ready-to-wear that gets sent back and then redistributed to the boutiques. The sale amount is usually, I think, 30%. Well, so I thought it was 30%, but this year the sale was actually 40%, because I was like, oh, I thought it was 30%. And the SA told me that it might have been like Bergdorf's or somewhere, where they used to start the sale at 30% and then increase it all the way up to 50% as time went on. And now, instead of allowing places to do that, they just want to do a flat normalized like 40% off and keep it consistent. So this year the sale was 40%. I'm pretty sure the last time I got something it was 30%, but they might have recently done that, where they wanted to keep it consistent at 40% across the board. That's what you can expect. It's 40% off of retail, and all sales are final. You cannot exchange or return. The other thing to note with sale purchases is that the alterations are no longer complimentary. So whenever you purchase ready-to-wear from Chanel, in case you didn't already know, the alterations are always complimentary. And that's, if you need to take it in a little bit, if you need to hem it or whatever, or you got a larger size, you're trying to resize it to be smaller, or you got your size but you want it to like be taken out a little bit, all of those will be accommodated, and all of that alteration is complimentary. I recently just went through that process, and so actually my next video is going to be another Chanel related video where I share my the piece that I picked up from the latest spring summer collection and the alterations that I did and the experience, because it was not that great, but I'll get into that in that video. But for full price items, alterations are complimentary. For sale pieces, alterations are no longer complimentary. So you can still use the Chanel in-house tailors and go through your Chanel boutique to make the alterations, but they will no longer be complimentary. Those are all like the facts. That this is to set your expectations of what to expect. There will be no classic flaps. There will rarely be any sort of leather good really on sale. So it's going to be a lot of ready-to-wear accessories and shoes that you could really target to trying to get on sale. So now for like my tips. As always, if you have a relationship with a sales associate, it's best to continue to work with them. You can always reach out toward like in May and like in December. You can always reach out and just be like, hey, like I feel like it's this, like Chanel sale season. Like, do you know when it's happening? And you can always ask. You can always let them know if there are certain styles that you know came out in a specific collection that would be included in that sale, and ask if any of those pieces are going to be available. Tell them the size that you're looking for, and a lot of times the SAs will be on the lookout for you. For example, there was this white tweed jacket that I tried on in January, I think of 2020, because I think it's part of 20C. So at the very beginning of last year, I tried it on and it lingered on my mind. I didn't purchase it at the time. And I remember asking my associate when I was hearing rumblings about the Chanel sale, I was like, hey, like, would this jacket be included? He looked it up for me and he was like, yes, it actually would be. And I told him the size that I'd be interested in, and I asked him to keep an eye out for me. He was like, sure. When the actual sale started, he let me know, my SA let me know the inventory that was available, the styles, the sale styles that are available at his particular boutique. And the jacket that I was originally looking for was not included. So I asked him about the jacket and he was like, hey, I think we might be able to order it from another boutique, but it's going to take a little bit longer. I think there's a period of time where each boutique is given time to sell the pieces from their store. And then if not, other boutiques can start requesting pieces to get sent to their clients. So I said, okay. And then I was looking through the other pieces that were already like available, or styles that were available, or part of the general sale. And that's when I decided to shift my focus from the jacket to actually a cardigan. With work from home and just all of that happening, like, and where I know things are slowly like reopening and feeling a lot more normal, but I'm still like working from home. I don't really have that many formal occasions to go to, so I decided not to get a tweed jacket and instead focus more on a cardigan that I feel like I can wear at home really easily while I'm still working, while I'm doing things, and then easily transition that to outside. That's what caused my pivot. But if you are familiar with pieces that you've tried on from specific collections, then you can always reach out and ask. It's best if you have at least a photo of the item, and it's always much easier if you have the style number. So whenever you're in a Chanel boutique and you try something on, I recommend you just take a picture of the tag. And it's okay if anyone ever, if any essay like furrows their brows or like seems to be not enjoy like that, just explain like, oh no, it's just for you to always have record of that piece. Sometimes it's easier, even if they want to ask SA again, like to have the specific reference number. That's all. Who's gonna say anything when you're saying I'm trying to make your life easier? So if you have those tags, it's a lot easier to ask if those pieces are included in the sale or if there's any inventory available for that specific style. I don't know if you watched my Chatting in My Closet episode where I talked about resellers as well. If not, again, I'll link that up above because I think it was a pretty interesting conversation. But around Chanel sale time, there will also be a lot of resellers that will be posting, or personal shoppers who will be posting information about inventory that they have access to that's part of the Chanel sale. That's always a route that's available and one that might be worth exploring for you depending on, you know, where you are and whether there is a boutique in your area or your country, or whether you know an SA or not. So that's always an option. I want to throw that out there. That's not an option that I have ever leveraged, but that's only because I didn't have to. I feel like the Chanel sales are a great way to purchase ready-to-wear pieces because the ready-to-wear will be discounted. You're still able to a lot of times get like really classic pieces or styles that are really iconic from that particular collection. I would not expect to see the most like popular it style to be available. If it is, it often will be in a very very small or like very large size, you know what I mean? And in my experience, a lot of times the ready-to-wear there's a lot more inventory in the more smaller sizes, the 34s, the 36s. I tend to, my size ranges anywhere from like a 42 all the way up. So depending on the style, so availability isn't always there. And a lot of times my SA will help me locate an item from another boutique and actually send it to me. If you have a local boutique and your SA works at the local boutique, then I would recommend you go into the boutique to see the actual items in person. Because the items are final sale, I feel like it's always best to try them on, to see them on your actual body before you decide whether you're going to purchase any ready-to-wear piece. I do have the luxury of having local boutiques, but my SA does not work in the local boutique anymore and actually moved to a different state. I continue to work with that SA, so I purchase most things virtually, basically over the phone, and get a lot of them shipped to me. I felt comfortable with the purchase that I made, at least for that particular style, that I would be able to get a sense of how it fits on my body and how the sizing would work. But if you ever have any questions, you can always ask your SA to send measurements or more detailed photos and things like that, and they can always help you out so you can make a better decision. I think I was starting to say that I feel like ready-to-wear, or the Chanel sale period, is a great time to add ready-to-wear pieces, and I really think so. Now, the one thing I want to caution folks against is sometimes when things are on sale, you get excited and you make purchases because you're like, I'm getting a great deal, like I'm not paying full price. But I think it's still really important to navigate the sale with a mindset of like choosing the classic pieces, or not necessarily classic, but choosing pieces that will have longevity in your closet. So you might find the really it piece from that collection like in your size and it's on sale, and you might be really excited to get that. But sometimes those pieces are a little too obvious, like what season it came from, and it might not have a lot of, you might not be able to wear it a lot. It might not have a lot of versatility, or it might not have a lot of applications or occasions for you to wear that in, especially when it's like sale period and you feel like inventory is really limited and like this might be the only one and there might not be another chance to get it on sale, and all of these thoughts are running through your mind. It's always important to like take a pause and ask yourself whether you're really going to wear it, whether you really like it, whether you see it being in your closet for a long period of time, or if you're kind of wrapped up in the hype and like grabbing things because you feel like you need to get them. I think I already mentioned that the costume jewelry pieces, usually they're slim pickings. I usually don't go into the Chanel sale with a specific accessory in mind. I usually anticipate most of the accessories to be sold. If there was one that was like really quirky, really a little out there, really unique, then that might be an item worth asking about and seeing if it's part of the sale and if any inventory is available. But otherwise, I don't expect the accessories or costume jewelry area to be like well stocked with things that I'd be actually looking for. The sale shoes is the area where I have the least experience. When you shop, or if you shop at those larger department stores like Bloomingdale's or Bergdorf or Saks, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, all the time, the shoe department is actually separate from the leased boutique section that's in the actual store. And the shoes will usually be part of, the shoe floor with the rest of the shoes from the department store. And because of that, sometimes the department store will actually have a portion of shoes that are on sale during the year outside of the Chanel sale period. There are a pair of Chanel shoes that I picked up that way, so I will link that video above because I go into a little bit more detail there. But I picked them up from Bloomingdale's and I actually walked by. I saw that they were running some sort of shoe sale on the floor in general. So I asked if any Chanel shoes were on sale, and there was a Chanel closet that they opened up and there were sale shoes in there. I think those are all of my main tips and information that I wanted to share. If you have any other tips that you think are really helpful, please let everybody know in the comments down below. I'm sure other folks would love to hear your tried and true tips and know-how to navigating the sale. Have you recently purchased anything from a Chanel sale? What was that experience like for you? It might be a little bit different in other countries as well. I should caveat that this is my experience based out of New York. A side note, have you guys seen any of the drama around the sales associates and the personal shoppers being in relationships so that they can get access to the sale before anybody else? That was some hot tea. But if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!